News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek. Sports with Beth Mensinger. Anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition, News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's Late Edition. For Monday, July 1st, 2013, I'm Lisa Sugart. Tonight, digging up the past, literally, L.A. Tyrone talks with researchers looking to unearth some historical items in our area. Plus a big parade in Schuylkill Haven Saturday, our George Umbenhauer recaps the 6 County Firemen's Parade. In sports, Beth Mensinger highlights a Hazleton basketball program going strong for more than 3 decades. And meteorologist Joe Garbacek tells us if the on-again, off-again showers will continue. But first, Late Edition's look at tonight's top stories. An accident in Hazel Township claimed the life of a West Hazleton man. It happened just before 5 o'clock along Route 924 in Hazel Township near Quad Graphics. According to state police in Hazleton, 35-year-old Carlos Taveras Martes of West Hazleton was traveling west on 924 in a 94 Honda Accord when his vehicle began to hydroplane and he lost control. He crossed the center turn lane traveling into the eastbound lanes, colliding head-on with a 2010 Volkswagen driven by 43-year-old Christopher Jones of Drums. Both cars came to rest in the eastbound right-hand lane. Both drivers transported to Hazleton General Hospital. State police report that Taveras Martes died from his injuries. He was not wearing a seatbelt. The woman who admitted she tampered with evidence to conceal a fatal accidental shooting was sentenced today. L.A. Tyrone has more.
Angelina Diabru was sentenced to 6 to 12 months in Luzerne County Prison, followed by 12 months probation. Sentence handed down by Judge David Lupus. It was the harshest one he could pronounce. Based on sentencing guidelines, DA Stephanie Salavantis was pleased.
We're very happy that Judge Lupus gave nearly the maximum sentence here today. This is a tragic event that occurred. Instead of doing the right thing, instead of turning to the police, Angelina Diabru decided to conceal a weapon, destroy evidence, destroy DNA evidence, lie to police, delete photographs that contained incriminating evidence. All of that combined, we felt that she deserved something more than probation.
And she says she hopes the sentence will cause another adult who might consider doing the same thing to pause.
I hope it does, and that's what I want the public to know about. Do the right thing. I know that people will do anything, parents will do anything to help their children, but concealing and incriminating evidence and concealing a crime that has been committed is not what's the best thing for your child.
But her attorneys say the sentence is unfairly harsh.
On behalf of Attorney Kansky and myself, we are both extremely disappointed with the sentence in this case. This has been a very devastating situation for 2 families. 2 families have been torn apart. As you all know, the Golden family has suffered the loss of a child, which is without a doubt the worst loss I could possibly imagine. Our family has just gone through one of the worst situations I could possibly imagine, with a mother being taken away from her child for 6 to 12 months.
And Marsilio says an appeal is on the table.
We're going to look into the opportunities to appeal, and hopefully we can come up with something.
But on the other side of town, victim Tyler Winstead's father, Terrence, had mixed emotions.
I knew what was going to happen. Wasn't going to like it 2 months ago, didn't like it today. I feel as though she should have actually gotten more time, but courts in Pennsylvania say this is it and this is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I have my closure, and I'm happy with that.
He says he has nothing against the youth who accidentally pulled the trigger, Elijah Youssef, and told him so.
When I saw him last in court, I told him I wish him well. I forgave him. There's no sense in carrying on a grudge against this young boy who has a life to live yet. My son is gone. He's not going to come back. It's time to lay him to rest, be at peace. And this boy should be at peace with himself because, like I said, he has a lot of years to live yet. And I wish him well in the future.
But his feelings about mother and son are far different.
He's going to remember this for the rest of his life. I know it. It was his best friend. But as far as like having hatred toward him, it just doesn't exist. Not in my heart. The mother was the problem for creating what happened that could have saved my son's life. The boy was confused. He didn't know what to do. He listened to his mother.
Winston also says he can't help but wonder, had the time spent pulling Tyler's body out of the house and lying him on the sidewalk had instead been used to call paramedics, whether his son might be alive today. L.A. Tyrone, WILN's Late Edition.
Thanks, L.A. Hazleton police are investigating reports of shots fired in the area of South Wyoming and Birch Streets around 1:30 this morning. According to police, they received a call for a fight involving multiple people. When police arrived, all the people had left the scene, but police found shell casings from a handgun.
That 8 to 10 shots were actually fired from a weapon in and at him as he fled the scene. It started as an argument, pushing and shoving match, and then it ensued. What we're trying to do again is identify exactly who the shooter is.
Now, if you know anything about the incident, you're asked to call Hazleton Police by dialing 911. A man had to be flown to a trauma center after being beaten in Hazleton early Sunday morning. Police were called to the area of 10th Street and Clinton Court around 10:30 on Sunday morning for a report of blood in the alley. Officers found the blood in the rear of 695-93 North Grant Street. They also found blood on the steps leading to an entry door that was open. Inside the residence, they found the victim in a bedroom suffering from a large head wound and facial injuries. The victim, whose name has not been released, was flown to a local trauma center where he's listed in stable condition. Police Chief Frank DeAndrea said the fight started in a bar.
The individual was in a fight prior that evening or that morning at a bar in the area of Broad and Lincoln Street. The fight took place there. We're trying to get any witnesses who can specifically identify the actors to please contact the Hazleton Police Department by calling 911 and informing them or getting in touch with an officer so that we can take that information and arrest the individuals that were involved.
Chief DeAndrea said there were cameras near the bar and police are reviewing them. Meanwhile, the investigation is continuing. A cabbie was held up in South Wilkes-Barre last night. It happened at Columbus Avenue, not far from Mayflower Park. The driver from Burgett Taxi said he was dispatched to 67 Columbus Avenue to pick up a fare for a ride to McDonald's. But when he arrived at the house, no one came out. The suspect then walked down the street, got into the cab, and pulled a gun. He demanded money and aimed at the driver's head. After the driver gave him money, he was ordered out of the cab. Now, the assailant drove off with the cab. It was found a few blocks away on Metcalf Street. Police described the suspect as a black man, 5 feet 9 inches tall, with a light chin lined with beard and a muscular build. He wore a white tank top, gray khaki-style shorts, and a white or gray knit hat. Anyone with information asked to call City Police at 826-8106. Hazleton City Police were involved in a foot chase today. It happened just off East Diamond Avenue on Columbus Court. Police tell us they tried to stop the red Ford Taurus at 2nd and Arthur Street, but the driver took off. He parked the car on Columbus between Cleveland and Arthur, then threw 200 bags of heroin into the woods and took off running. Police captured 22-year-old Oseas Nahu Garcia Arias after a brief chase. When they searched the car, they also found another 20 bags of heroin and just under $1,000 in cash. Hazleton police today recovered jewelry reported taken from a home in the city. Police investigated the theft Friday in the 600 block of Carlton Avenue. The victim said several pieces of jewelry were removed from the residence sometime between January and last Friday. Well, today, after checking the precious metals and secondhand goods database, police told us they located jewelry matching the description of the stolen items. It had been pawned at John's Pawn Shop, 562 Alter Street in Hazleton.
The ordinance requires them to wait 15 days from the day that they enter it into the system, not the day that they purchased it, the day that they enter it in until the day that they could melt it down or sell it. That gives law enforcement time to do an investigation, and precious metals don't disappear overnight.
Police Chief Frank DeAndrea created that ordinance back in 2012, which did today what it was designed to do.
Today, the activity here is the culmination of a victim reporting that their family is yet again burglarized from the same suspect, and we're able to recover some of the stolen goods yet again, and today we'll file charges against that individual.
Now, in all, 5 pieces of jewelry were recovered. Through the investigation, police determined that 19-year-old Joseph Giannetti of Hazleton had allegedly pawned the items over a several-month period. Charges of receiving stolen property were filed against him. The chief said the pawn shop owner is cooperating. The Wilkes-Barre drug raid that started last week at a barber shop and a furniture store on Hazel Street is not yet finished. Today, 9 more people were arrested in connection with it. Their names are up on your screen now. They were arraigned by District Judge Paul Roberts in Kingston and jailed in county prison for lack of bail. Deputy Attorney General Tim Doherty called them sub-drug dealers who got their cocaine and marijuana supply from Ramon Colon and his wife Alexandra Mateo of Wilkes-Barre. Doherty said they got large amounts of cocaine and marijuana from New York and then supplied the sub-dealers to sell throughout Luzerne County for more than 8 months. Police have called the bust Operation Shape Up. A dog attack topped tonight's Freeland Council meeting. Our Gary Perna was there.
The family of a 70-year-old man asked Freeland Borough Council if there could be anything done to help prevent another attack from happening. The man and a dog were attacked on June 17th. Both had to seek emergency medical attention. 4 days later, the same dog attacked the man's other dog. It had to be taken for medical attention as well. The family tells us their father and 2 dogs were attacked in their own yard. Council President Bob Quinn Jr. said police did file charges and are looking into their ordinances to see if anything could be done with the dog.
We're going to look at what ordinances we can put in place. Right now we just basically have to follow the state dog laws with 3 bites, depending on severity. The most I can say is that we'll do, if we can do anything legally, we'll do it. But if something happens, please notify the police. Even if you have the dog next door snaps at you, doesn't really bite you, or that sort of thing, just please report it. Our goal is really not to get rid of those dogs, but just to hold the owners responsible, and if it means having to keep going after that owner.
The family did not wish to speak on camera. They said they just wanted to make council and the community aware of the incidents. Also, Mayor Tammy Martin reminds all residents to make sure that they have working smoke alarms in their homes following the tragic events that happened in McAdoo. Martin witnessed the incident firsthand as she was helping with the McAdoo Fire Company's bazaar that night. She told all residents if they don't have a working smoke alarm to contact the fire department to get one. In Freeland, for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. For the 3rd straight year, Pennsylvania has a budget on time. L.A. Tyrone has the details.
The House and Senate passed the spending plan over the weekend, and Governor Corbett signed it last night. Totals $28,375 million, a 2.6% spending increase over the budget which just expired. Now, under it, the basic education subsidy hits $5.5 billion. High. Budget also spends more on health care for the poor, social services, public employee pensions, and prison. By about $300 million. But the budget adoption still leaves several other big objectives undone. While the Senate passed a bill expanding private sales of liquor, it is complicated. It allows LCB stores to remain open for a while, keep state ownership of the wholesale operation, and doesn't stand much of a chance in the House. Also unfinished is transportation. There are competing funding proposals. A Senate version, which raises about $2.5 billion, but then hikes every fee related to driving, and a $1.5 billion House package, which removes the wholesale gas tax cap over 5 years but doesn't raise anything else. And nothing was done on pensions. Corbett has proposed eliminating them for new employees and replacing them with 401k plans. The House State Government Committee approved a bill to do that, but a floor vote is not definite. Pennsylvania state pension bill now has topped $47 billion. L.A. Tyrone, WILN's Late Edition.
Thanks, L.A. Well, with the passing of that state budget, Attorney General Kathleen Kane will be able to deploy a mobile street gang unit. And the first stop for that unit will be here in Hazleton. The Attorney General will receive $2.5 million for the unit. Today we caught up with Hazleton Police Chief Frank D'Andrea, who is thrilled.
I'm almost speechless. I'm ecstatic with the fact that the Attorney General got a huge portion of what she was asking for.
The chief said the work will start soon, but we will not see the extra eyes until closer to the end of the year.
I am confident that this plan will be put into place extremely quickly. The actual law enforcement members showing up may be a few months away. However, the groundwork of all the intelligence that needs to be gathered and the logistics of housing and vehicles and magistrates will start almost immediately.
D'Andrea is extremely thankful for the efforts of State Representative Tara Toohill and Senator John Udicek in helping to make that a reality. Well, Sunday was a perfect day for a bridal show. Cassidy Sherman recaps this special event.
Yesterday may have been a beautiful beginning for some local brides and special event planners. Beautiful Beginnings Bridal Expo was held at Carmen's Country Inn in Drums, and WYLN was proud to be a part of it. WYLN's own Liz Tolan, Director of Sales and Marketing, said that she has been trying to help people realize how great the area really is.
Kathy Cucci, who runs Carmen's Country Inn, has just done a lot of beautiful renovations to the property and to the building, so we wanted to show those off. And we also wanted to support local businesses and let people know just all of the fabulous vendors and opportunity there is to get married right here in our area.
The event featured a fashion show displaying designs from Wedding Belle's bridal shop and offered a variety of local photographers, DJs, and more, looking to make anyone's special day beautiful. From Carmen's Country Inn for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Cassidy Sherman.
Thanks, Cassidy. A forest fire turned deadly in the Southwest. INN's Phil Doherty has the details.
The devastating day for one community in Arizona. 19 firefighters battling a blaze there who were unaccounted for Sunday night have been confirmed dead. All were members of that city's fire department. The crew was fighting the Yarnell Hill fire, which broke out Friday northwest of Phoenix. The fire has grown to 1,000 acres, damaged 3 homes, and forced evacuations in the cities of Peoples and Yarnell. Officials believe lightning sparked that blaze.
And as I said, what sometimes happens, if you get a real big wind event or something, all of a sudden the fire blows up, and you go to your safety zone, and it's not big enough. And so that's probably what happened with this poor crew.
Not counting those 19 deaths reported in Arizona, the U.S. Fire Administration says 43 firefighters have been killed so far this year.
That's INN's Phil Doherty reporting. I'm sure the people in Arizona would look forward to the rain that we're having in our area. Right now, we'll check in with a preview of this week's forecast. Meteorologist Joe Garbochik standing by in the Weather Center. Joe?
Thanks, Lisa. Well, last couple of days we've been seeing the showers, we've been seeing the thunderstorms, locally heavy downpours, some flash flooding. How much longer is this going to last? I'll let you know straight ahead.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, it's back. Jerry's hot summertime one-day specials. Don't miss the savings.
Wilkes-Barre, this Sunday, July 7th, WWE Live is coming, and in a massive main event. See the show-off Dolph Ziggler battle World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio in a last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the last man standing will be champion. Plus, don't miss the Viper Randy Orton and all your favorite WWE superstars. It's WWE Live in Wilkes-Barre this Sunday, July 7th. Tickets still available.
A roadside bomb in Iraq made Brian Anderson one of only a few surviving triple amputees from the war. Despite losing both legs and his hand, Brian has not slowed down. As a spokesperson for veterans organizations, a television and film actor, and now the author of the incredibly inspiring book called No Turning Back. Brian Anderson on the next Storm Politics, only on WYLN.
We are officially in July, as you know, and here's a look at some of the trends we can expect to see throughout the month of July. Tropical system formations start to go on the increase. Keep in mind, tropical season, hurricane season, officially began June 1st. It never ends until November 30th, and a peak occurs in September. Thunderstorm frequency generally starts to go up. The average daily temperature starts to go up as well. But the unfortunate part about this is daylight starts to decrease as we progress. The amount of daylight hours start to decrease as we progress through July. Live 35 Skycast Doppler still got some of those rain showers out there, a couple of lightning and a little bit of some thunder in some of them as well. That can't be ruled out. And this weather trend that we've seen the last couple of days will stick with us over the next few days. So we're just going to have to grin and bear it, because that's what we're going to have over the next several days. 69 outside our station in Hazleton are live Lehigh Tire conditions. Humidity at 100%. Notice since midnight we've now picked up 1.12 inches of rain. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 73 and 65. Averages for this time of year, 81 and 60, 97 and 44. Record high and low still stand, 536, 840. Sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So a muggy night it was last night. Again, past 24 hours, low temperatures generally in the 60s to near 70. And notice the high temperatures for the most part in the 70s, some lower 80s out there as well. Temperature-wise right now, 70 in New Angola, 73 in Berwick, 72 in Monoy City, 72 in Bloomsburg, and 72 degrees in Danville. Now, taking a look at in the Wyoming Valley area, winds really not much of a factor. Temperatures continuing to remain in the lower 70s. Satellite and radar, we just have this unstable weather. The good news is not as much precipitation across the northeast, but notice as you head toward the southwest, boy, there's just a lot of precipitation, some showers and some thunderstorms. And like I said, next couple of days we're going to still have to deal with some of those showers and thunderstorms in our forecast. Keep the umbrella handy. At times it won't be doing anything. At times we'll see the sunshine. And at times it's going to be pretty nice out there. But do keep the umbrella handy, because you most likely will need it over the next couple of days at any one given point. You can see some of the numbers through tonight. Muggy night, 60s, maybe near 70 tonight, and then tomorrow we got 70, some 80s out there as well. And it looks like it should be another muggy night as we head into tomorrow night and early Wednesday morning. So get those showers, thunderstorms. Some of them can produce some flash flooding, especially in the poor drainage areas and even some of the smaller streams and creeks, especially because we've been getting a lot of that rain lately over the last several days, so the ground continues to be saturated, and we'll have some more showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys at Division of Arc Electric. We keep the threat of some unstable weather for the next several days, even into the 4th of July, and then beyond that, even going into the weekend. and we'll start to crank up those numbers a little bit. The normally warmer locations will be in the mid to upper 80s, possibly close to 90. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, a daily 731, the big 4 is 7747. Quinto numbers looking like this: 05216, and a cash 5, 1, 26, 29, 32, and 37. Lisa.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up, an archaeological dig right here in the Hazleton area. L.A. Tyrone will have more. But first, where you can find the many fireworks displays in our area in celebration of the July 4th holiday on Thursday.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, announcing how everybody can make the Grand Central connection with the grand opening of our second location on Route 93 across from Berger Family Dealerships. During our grand opening celebration, take part in our weekly $300 Hazel Park gift certificate giveaway. Grand opening price is up to 50% off, free delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free finance. And remember, shop Grand Central, where your house becomes a home.
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure exploring parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and it's free. This year's Passport has more than 30 stops. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre and Pittston. Explore the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them in on the website. Start exploring today.
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WILN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky trays, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
Welcome back. As we told you over a week ago, archaeologists from Maryland have been working in Hazel Township looking for remnants from the early days of mining. The chief archaeologist of the team joined our LA Tyrone on Topic A earlier today.
Mike Roller is a graduate student from the University of Maryland who is pursuing a higher degree. He came to this area to dig primarily because of the Latimer Massacre in 1897.
My advisor, Dr. Paul Shacko, who ended up in Pennsylvania just touring around, and he ended up seeing the Latimer Massacre Memorial, the Centennial, in 1997, and just became fascinated with this event that's not very well remembered in American history. A very complicated event and an important one. And so from that, we decided, well, this is a fantastic project, both to look at history, but also to look at the way this memory is still remembered, often by family stories and by local religious ceremonies, etc.
But he soon became fascinated with the daily lives of miners of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and he found quite a bit. He brought much of it with him today. A couple of these things really stand out here. The one, of course, is the miner's tag.
Right. That sort of makes us think about the men and their work, of course, when you think about the anthracite region. That check tag would have been something that the men would have placed on coal cars as they were delivering the coal up to the top of the mines to be weighed so that they could be appropriately paid for the work that they did.
Now, what is that gold, that greenish gold circular thing next to it?
That's an Italian coin, actually. That dates to about 1869. That was quite a find. We're excited to find that. And for us, that's very significant. It's an Italian coin. It's Vittorio Emanuele, a king of Italy from the 1860s, and that probably would have been brought by an immigrant with them on the boat to the United States. Just thinking about what you would have brought with you when you're traveling across the ocean to an unknown place.
Life savings in gold coins, that kind of thing?
Perhaps, and a keepsake, a memory of home. Just sort of a fascinating little personal item. Just think of these connections, too, ocean connection.
He then moved on to Partysville.
There's an article from 1898 that was written. It's in a magazine called The Century, and this visitor, this artist, travels to Partysville and describes the landscape. He walks up the alleyway that's about 15 feet from our house, the lot that we're working in, and describes these houses of just different shapes, different angles to the roofs, different materials, different shapes of windows. And for him, this is a mess. This is a mess. But for me, looking at this archaeology, there's so much creativity and ingenuity.
It's like they use whatever they can get their hands on, in effect, right? And there he found something even more fascinating. That is a terracotta pipe, which means that the miners in Partysville were creating sort of a rudimentary source system. Is that over-exaggerating it, or...?
I think that pretty much covers it. So going back to this article, they're talking about in 1898, this place is a mess. There's garbage in the streets. There's liquid everywhere that stinks. But what we've been finding is all sorts of pipes and cast iron pipes and hand-dug trenches. And then, of course, this sewer system called a wildcat sewer, which some of the old-timers told us about. Which was probably
there are still a few of them in existence in this area. They're not supposed to be, according to Act 537, but there still are a few.
And I think that's just amazing, this community effort to put a sewer system in, because it's coming from the state.
Right.
So they hand-dug these trenches and built these, put the terracotta pipes in to drain into the mines. To me, that's just a wonderful story. Not conventionally what we might think of archaeology. We think of pyramids. We don't think about those bodily fluids and those important details of life. But
this article you read that said, oh, this place is a mess, the residents kind of realized, yeah, it probably is, so let's try to clean it up. Is that?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Roller and his team are wrapping up this week, but he says they will be back. You can see the entire interview from Topic A today on our Facebook page. LA Tyrone, WILN's Late Edition.
Thanks, LA. Very interesting. When we come back, Beth is in with the first round of sports. Don't go anywhere.
Mario Andretti has won at Pocono.
For years, it was one of IndyCar's crown jewel events.
Heading for the checkered flag, Al Unser, Bobby Rahal, Rick Mears, and A.J. Foyt.
And now they're back.
The yellow is out.
Blinding speeds over 220 miles an hour. What a battle. Thrilling wheel-to-wheel action.
Oh, James Hinchcliffe is a winner again.
Get tickets as low as $12.50. You don't want to miss history as IndyCar Triple Crown returns to Pocono.
WYLN TV 35 is looking to hire a highly motivated, energetic salesperson for the Hazleton and surrounding areas. We offer a competitive salary and benefits package. Call 956-5772. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce welcomes all vendors and crafters to participate in the downtown Hazleton Farmers Market beginning Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 20 West Broad Street. To become a vendor, call 570-455-1509 or email info@hazletonchamber.org.
When it comes to the wire guys, you are going to have an amazing experience. And if it means giving you back your money, plus, I'm going to do it. We guarantee everything. 112% money back guarantee. Labor and material guaranteed for a year. So you don't really need to worry about it. You're going to walk up to the wall, throw the switch, put your power cords in the outlets, and everything is the way it's supposed to be. Call me. Your time is valuable. If we're late, you get paid.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Ting's going to explain to us what causes lower back pain, how you can avoid it, and if you are uncomfortable, what he can do to help you out. That's all coming up this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Join us.
If you're active in sports in the Hazleton area, there's no doubt you've heard about a program that's pretty much a staple for basketball in the city, Tony Farnell Salo Sereni Basketball League. Today we stopped by the Hazleton Area High School where the Summer League is held as it began its 32nd year and talked with Program Director Mike Joseph.
We have, I think, closing in on about 150 participants in this program, and it has a very strong tradition, again, that Mr. Farnell started now 3 decades ago, and you know, you see people walking around all the time with Tony Farnell, Salo Sereni t-shirts, and you know, we're just excited to have another start of the season.
There are a few different sessions for boys and girls from elementary school through middle school. Joseph explains.
The AM session, which is for boys and girls from 3rd through 6th grade, they'll get 12 sessions of basketball. The older group, the junior high boys and senior high boys and the junior high girls, we're going to get them at least 10 games throughout the course of July. Each of the leagues has at least 4 teams. And again, it's just a great way for these kids to compete some more, to play some more against some of the people that they'll probably be competing against at the middle school level. And when you look at the rising freshmen in the boys division, when you go from 7 middle schools to 1 team, it gives them a chance to compete against those guys that they're probably going to be fighting for spots in the fall.
Joseph is also the head boys basketball coach at Hazleton Area. He said the league gives the kids involved a look at the work that goes into playing ball in high school.
You know, we haven't been in this gym for a few years. We were up at the castle for the last several years. It's a great chance for them to be in our gym and see all the banners that fly here. And it's a great chance for them to play in front of the coaching staff. So we see them compete head-to-head with the guys that they're going to be fighting for, possibly a chance to play in the freshman team, or maybe even our JV team, because the senior high division is for 9th and 10th graders in the boys. The junior high boys is for 7th and 8th, and the junior high girls is for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Salo Sereni, which is closed to the public, goes on throughout July at the Hazleton Area High School with playoffs and championships, rounding out the league at the end of the month. Registration for the league is now closed, but if you're interested in finding out more, you can call the Hazleton City Recreation Department at 459-4903. The Shenandoah Valley Blue Devils football team now has another new head coach after naming Mike Reese as the leader a few months ago. Reese resigned over the weekend because of personal reasons, and stepping into his spot, Randy McSimick. McSimick played for the Blue Devils and helped them capture a District 11 Class A championship in 1996. Reese was hired to replace former head coach Nick Sajone, who resigned after 9 years at the helm for the Blue Devils. And a couple Little League scores in tonight for District 18, 11, and 12-year-olds in that tournament. Tamaqua wins over Valley East 10-4, and Towamensing with the W over Jim Thorpe. After the Tamaqua Tamaqua game, the Tamaqua Blue 9 and 10-year-olds faced off with Jim Thorpe Blue in the second game of the doubleheader, and Jim Thorpe goes on to win the South Division for that Little League in District 18. Iron Pigs highlights coming up in a few minutes for you. Stay tuned. Lisa's back after the break with your top story recap.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WILN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WILN TV 35. See the Major League Stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WILN TV 35. Visit WILNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WILN, your home for live sports.
Recapping tonight's top stories, an accident in Hazel Township claimed the life of a West Hazelton man. It happened just before 5 o'clock today along Route 924 in Hazel Township near Quad Graphics. According to state police in Hazelton, 35-year-old Carlos Taveras Martes of West Hazelton was traveling west on 924 in a 94 Honda Accord when his vehicle began to hydroplane and he lost control. He crossed the center turn lane traveling into the eastbound lanes, colliding head-on with a 2010 Volkswagen driven by 43-year-old Christopher Jones of Drums. Both cars came to rest in the eastbound right-hand lane. Both were taken to the hospital. State police report Taveras Martes died from his injuries. He was not wearing a seatbelt. The woman who admitted she tampered with evidence to conceal a fatal accidental shooting was sentenced today. L.A. Tyrone has more.
Angelina Diabru was sentenced to 6 to 12 months in Luzerne County Prison, followed by 12 months probation. Sentence handed down by Judge David Lupus. It was the harshest one he could pronounce. Based on sentencing guidelines, DA Stephanie Salavantis was pleased.
We're very happy that Judge Lupus gave nearly the maximum sentence here today. This is a tragic event that occurred. Instead of doing the right thing, instead of turning to the police, Angelina Diabru decided to conceal a weapon, destroy evidence, destroy DNA evidence, lie to police, delete photographs that contained incriminating evidence. All of that combined, we felt that she deserved something more than probation.
And she says she hopes the sentence will cause another adult who might consider doing the same thing to pause.
I hope it does, and that's what I want the public to know about. Do the right thing. I know that people will do anything, parents will do anything to help their children, but concealing and incriminating evidence and concealing a crime that has been committed is not what's the best thing for your child.
But her attorneys say the sentence is unfairly harsh.
On behalf of Attorney Kansky and myself, we are both extremely disappointed with the sentence in this case. This has been a very devastating situation for two families. Two families have been torn apart. As you all know, the Golden family has suffered the loss of a child, which is without a doubt the worst loss I could possibly imagine. Our family has just gone through one of the worst situations I could possibly imagine, with a mother being taken away from her child for 6 to 12 months.
And Marsilio says an appeal is on the table.
We're going to look into the opportunities to appeal, and hopefully we can come up with something.
But on the other side of town, victim Tyler Winstead's father, Terrence, had mixed emotions.
I knew what was going to happen. Wasn't going to like it 2 months ago, didn't like it today. I feel as though she should have actually gotten more time, but courts in Pennsylvania say this is it and this is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I have my closure, and I'm happy with that.
He says he has nothing against the youth who accidentally pulled the trigger, Elijah Youssef, and told him so.
when I saw him last in court, I told him I wish him well. I forgave him. There's no sense in carrying on a grudge against this young boy who has a life to live yet. My son is gone. He's not going to come back. It's time to lay him to rest, be at peace. And this boy should be at peace with himself because, like I said, he has a lot of years to live yet. And I wish him well in the future.
But his feelings about mother and son are far different.
He's going to remember this for the rest of his life. I know it. It was his best friend. But as far as like having hatred toward him, it just doesn't exist. Not in my heart. The mother was the problem for creating what happened that could have saved my son's life. The boy was confused. He didn't know what to do. He listened to his mother.
Winston also says he can't help but wonder, had the time spent pulling Tyler's body out of the house and lying him on the sidewalk had instead been used to call paramedics, whether his son might be alive today. L.A. Tyrone, WILN's Late Edition.
Thanks, L.A., and that's a look at tonight's top story recap. When we come back, we will take you to a parade in Schuylkill Haven from over the weekend, and Beth is back in with more sports.
And how much longer will this rain stick around with us? I'll let you know with the complete 7-day forecast in just a few.
Weatherwood is a privately owned 200-bed nursing and rehabilitation center. Nestled within the quiet town of Weatherly, PA, we offer our residents and their families tranquil and scenic views from just about anywhere in the building. We are located within minutes of Hazleton General Hospital as well as major metropolitan medical and trauma centers in the Lehigh Valley. Whispering Meadows is a 50-bed secured dementia unit within our facility. Whether you need short-term, long-term, or respite stay, call or stop by today for a tour.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
You work hard at fundraising events for your organization. What better way to raise awareness to your cause than to wear a custom embroidered or screen printed shirt from CTC Apparel Plus. CTC makes it easy to create t-shirts that get your message out. Not only do we have packages at different levels that are affordable, but the t-shirts will be name brand, stylish, and comfortable. All it takes is a minimum of 25 shirts to start promoting. There are no setup fees or deposits required. Call CTC today at 570-454-3754.
This past weekend marked the 110th annual Six-County Firemen's Convention in Schuylkill Haven, and it brought thousands to the small Schuylkill County community. Our George Umbenhauer was there.
The Schuylkill Haven and Hose Fire Company hosted their annual fire convention parade this past weekend. Various companies made an appearance to show off their engines and other vehicles they use during emergencies. Chief Engineer of the Schuylkill Hose Company and Chairman of the parade, Chad Hasenauer, talks about the event and what to expect.
Today we're hosting the 110th annual Six-County Firemen's Parade here in Schuylkill Haven, showing the heritage of the organization, bringing it down. It's the first time in history it's been this far south within the organization. We do have a few marching bands and floats as well, so it seemed to be a nice day for it. I mean, the weather's real nice for it and all, and the help's been phenomenal, so it's been real good. I mean, we've had over 90 people from our fire station and one of the other stations in town come through for us, and we're doing our best.
In addition to the marching bands and floats, the Hawk Mountain Highlanders played Irish tunes on their bagpipes, and the Belvedere Alumni Band marched proudly with patriotic songs. Pounds of candy was also handed out to the children enjoying the parade. New and upcoming firefighters like Stephen Kolb explained why he joined the Minersville Fire Company.
Joined because of friends and that. I wanted to be a firefighter my whole life and everything, so I got into it. Knowing that I'm helping people actually and doing good for the community, which is nice to know. Helping out all the time. It's fun.
The fire trucks stretched all the way up Main Street and stopped one after the other to talk about the truck's history and where it was made. New and old trucks were shown to the public and gave viewers an idea of what things were like back in the early days of firefighting. Among the trucks were the Yingling and Heisler's dairy carriages pulled by large horses. Daniel Wanser of Pottsville talks about all the trucks he saw and which one was his favorite.
I like the ones, oh God, I can't even remember where they were from. The purple and the green ones were pretty nice, so I like those. I can't remember where they were from, but they were neat looking. There were a lot of them. Yeah, they were neat looking. I remember the one from Branchdale was pretty nice.
The 6-county parade showed dozens of fire engines and will continue again next year. Reporting for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm George Omenhauer.
Thanks, George. Well, we would like to congratulate our own Gary Perna, who was elected president of the 6-County Firemen's Association this week, and we wish him the best as its president. Beth is in with sports when we come right back on Late Edition.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341. WILN will be at the oldest motor sporting event in America, the Giants of Spare. WILN will again give you all the turn-by-turn coverage with Marty Burns. WILN TV 35, the station to turn to when you want live sports.
Bottleneck Saloon and Eatery, now open on the Square in Wilkes-Barre. Stop by to see us for lunch to break up and brighten up your day. Or get it to go. Our lunch menu ranges from light to all right, with signature salads, saloon-style sandwiches, crunchy rings, Nipa's best wings, and draft drinks to power you through the afternoon. After work, we're there to help you unwind with friends. Put little bottlenecks in your day. Bottleneck Saloon and Eatery, now in the Square. See you there.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
For crying out loud. Hey, neighbor. Lousy weather, huh? This is not a good time.
For it to be raining and my satellite dish to lose its signal? That. You mind if I watch your cable?
Look, my kid's having a sleepover.
Right. I'll just watch it on your bedroom set.
Service Electric Digital Cable with On Demand. The best TV in the neighborhood.
Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs pitcher Ethan Martin was named the International League Pitcher of the Week for June 24th through the 30th. The 24-year-old right-hander had 2 wins with a .64 ERA, striking out 10 and only giving up 5 hits in his 2 starts and 14 innings on the mound last week. With his 2 wins, he is the fastest Iron Pig to reach 9 wins for a season. Now he is leading in the International League. And while Martin had the night off, Raul Valdez took the hill for the Pigs tonight as they faced off with the Toledo Mud Hens. In the first, Freddie Galvis in Allentown tonight. He hits the long ball to the right field wall, but Ben Gez is there to rob Galvis of some extra bases. Then we're going to move in the second inning. Cody Overbeck leads the Pigs in home runs. He adds another one there as he knocks out the solo bomb to dead center field. Lehigh Valley goes up 1-0. Moving to the fourth inning. Runners on first and third with one out. Cameron Rupp, he will get the bat on the ball and get the sacrifice fly. It's good enough for the RBI, and Overbeck will score. Pigs will go up 2-0, and they will continue trucking on tonight. They will shut out the Mud Hens 7-0. Alex Rodriguez has been cleared by the Yankees to start a rehab assignment. He's slated to start and play at least 3 innings at third base for Single-A Charleston tomorrow night. Rodriguez has yet to play this season after undergoing hip surgery in mid-January. The Vancouver Canucks traded goalie Corey Schneider to the Devils for the 9th pick in the NHL draft. Schneider and Robert Luongo have been splitting goalie duties the last 2 years. With New Jersey, Schneider becomes their heir apparent to Martin Brodeur, although he was quoted this weekend as saying he still anticipates being the starter. The deal leaves Luongo as the starter through the Canucks. Also recently signed Swedish goalie Joakim Eriksson. Now let's check out our national scoreboard. First up in Eastern League play, Fightin' Phils win 4-1. Akron falls 3-2 on the IL. Rail Riders fall to the Paw Sox. Russ Kanzler went 1 for 4 with the Tides in their loss to the Braves. A couple of games in the majors tonight. R.A. Dickey gets the win for the Blue Jays. Yankees are up, and the Rays knocking around the Astros 8-0. National League, Bryce Harper's back. He had a solo home run in Washington's win. There's a rain delay between the Reds and the Giants. Miami is up 4-0 on the San Diego Padres. Stick around. Joe Garbachik's back with the rest of your weather.
For years, it was one of IndyCar's crown jewel events.
Heading for the checkered flag, Al Unser, Bobby Rahal, Rick Mears, and A.J. Foyt.
And now they're back.
The yellow is out.
Blinding speeds over 220 miles an hour. What a battle. Thrilling wheel-to-wheel action.
Oh, James Hinchcliffe is a winner again.
Kids tickets as low as $12.50. You don't want to miss history as IndyCar Triple Crown returns to Pocono.
For a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
And we've got just the dealer.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer. Fairway Subaru.
Yeah.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Well, throughout the summertime, we often deal with the heat, the humidity. When you combine temperatures with dew point values, you get an indication of what it actually feels like when you walk outside. That's what's known as a heat index, and many times we can get them well up into the 90s to even 100 or a little bit over 100. You really got to be careful, especially when it gets that hot around our viewing area. You just got to take it easy, take it slow, take a lot of breaks, keep yourself well hydrated, drink plenty of liquids, that being in the form of water, because if you're not careful, you can get heat cramps, you can get a stroke, fatigue, or end up finding yourself in the hospital if you're not very careful. Well, taking a look at the 4th of July fireworks viewing, if you will. Not looking the best this year at this point, because there's going to be showers, thunderstorms, overcast skies, there'll be some breaks. All indications are we can hope that there's going to be some areas that will hold off on some of the rain during those fireworks times, but it's going to be kind of wet and unstable, the atmosphere, so going to be dodging the showers and thunderstorms. Mother Nature's fireworks, a good chance of seeing this year. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. Still some rain across parts of our area, especially as you head toward the northern part of the state of Pennsylvania and as you head further out toward the west. 69 outside our station in Hazleton, picking up 1.12 inches of rain since the midnight hour. Notice 5 mile per hour, 10 mile per hour winds, not too bad out there. 73 in Williamsport, 75 in Selinsgrove, 73 Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport. So you can see we had the rain around, we had the showers, a few embedded storms, and this unstable weather is going to continue with us as we head through the next couple of days. Some showers, some thunderstorms in between there. We'll have some sunshine and dry conditions, so keep the umbrella handy over the next couple of days because you're going to need to keep it handy because there'll be some precipitation out there. And there will be over the next several days on the extended forecast brought to you by the wire guys at Division of Arc Electric. You can see the showers and thunderstorms continuing to stay in the forecast for the next several days. And we start to see a bit of a warm-up in our forecast as we go into the next couple of days going into the weekend. I don't like this chair.
I don't think it likes you either. We want to wish Mary Schreibmeyer, our fellow co-worker here at WILN, a happy birthday. She's celebrating today. And Beth, we've got good things coming up. We have
that's a good thing.
Indy tickets for Pocono, WWE tickets, lots of good giveaways, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You never know when the chance will come up. Good night, everybody.